Hello, and welcome to an episode of Help Me Do Family History. Normally, the episodes that I do are called Watch Me Do Family History. My name is Chris Knudsen. I love doing family history, and I also love helping other people with their family history. Today, I'm helping a friend, a neighbor named Ryan, and he has given me access to his tree. But to avoid privacy issues, I am starting by, I picked one of his great-grandparents named Polly Frances Wakely. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to show you how I do family history. And I want to see how much we can get done in just 30 minutes. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes. And our goal is to find a new person on Ryan's family tree in 30 minutes. So to start off, we're looking at the fan chart for Polly Frances Wakely. And I'm looking at the countries that her ancestors were from. So you have some people from the United Kingdom, some people from British colonial America, some people from the United States. We're going to go to, let's see here. Let's look at Mary Brown. We picked Mary Brown because she is in the United States, what was back then British colonial America. And it looks like there's one more generation back with information. So let's go to John Brown. And I'm going to hit tree. Okay, so John Brown is kind of like an end-of-line person. But we're going to come back forward. So I like to start in the 1700s and come back forward and look for people in the 1850s who don't have spouses or children. And that's how I like to find new people to add to the tree. So we're going to change the fan chart to descendancy view. So John Brown married Mary Carter, and they had two daughters, Dorothy Rhoda Brown and Mary Brown. And Ryan is a descendant of Mary Brown, so we're not gonna choose that line. His line was so full of famous people that one of his great uncles was Brigham Young. And if you're from Utah, you know if you're related to Brigham Young, thousands of people have done research on your family tree. So you're going to have a hard time finding new people to add. So we're going to go back clear to the early 1700s to John Brown, and we're going to skip the line that Ryan is directly from. We're going to come back down and look for descendants of John Brown through Dorothy Rhoda Brown. So let's click on Dorothy. And as you can see, not a lot of research has been done here. Some of these people don't have spouses listed, but the majority of them do have spouses and children. They're just not on the tree. And let's see. The first child that has a spouse is William Woodland. We're not in the 1850s yet, so we're going to keep going down the tree. And so William Woodland had three wives. One was Nancy Hunt, Mary Stepford, and Catherine Hunt. So if we start with Nancy, the first child there was Mary Ann Woodland. And so we're not to the 1850s yet, so we're going to go ahead and click on that and look down. And Mary Ann Woodland married Thomas Jefferson Fisher, and they had several children, and it looks like a lot of these children are married. Let's start with the first child, 1837. So we're going to keep going down the tree. Polly Ann Fisher. Okay, so Polly Ann Fisher married John Andrew Jackson Smith and had several children. And let's look at some of these children. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so we have more room. Elizabeth Catherine Smith. Okay, So all of these children have spouses, and lots of stuff going on already here. Jesse Fielding still, lots of spouses. So we're looking for children. All these children have spouses. So we're going to go back up and come back down to William Washington Smith. Okay, some stuff going on here. William Washington Smith, but we don't know who the spouse's name is, and there's a daughter named Willa DeMotti. So this isn't an easy thing because you already know there's something weird going on because the daughter doesn't have the same last name as the father. So since we're looking for low-hanging fruit and we're trying to go quick, we're going to come back to that one later. Let's see. Next child is Mary Ann Smith. Okay, Mary Ann Smith married a Frances Marion Noel, and with several children. And some of these children are not married. So, Frederick Noel, Francis Noel, Samuel Noel, Alice Lenora Noel, Albert Raymond Noel, Leon Noel, Inez, Catherine, and Mabel. So let's go ahead and click on Frederick. Frederick was born in Dunlap, Harrison, Iowa. Okay, so Frederick was born in Iowa, Francis was born in Iowa, Samuel was born in Iowa, Alice was born in Iowa. So it looks like most of these kids were born in Iowa. That's a good thing. So going back to Frederick, we're going to click on person, open the link, and okay, so he has 10 sources. Okay, if he's got 10 sources, I'm not even going to look because that means we've proven that he didn't get married already. So I'm going to go down to the next non-married person, Albert Raymond Noel. Holy cow. He's got 10 sources also. Let's see what those 10 sources are. Social Security Death Index, Find a Grave, United States World War II Draft Registration, California Death Index, World War I Draft Registration, Delayed Birth Record, 2 delayed birth records, 1910 Census, 1900 Census, 1895 Census. So if Albert Raymond Noel was born in 1890, the first census that he's going to be in for the federal census is going to be 1900. And he's going to be living with Marion Noel. Let's go back and check. Francis Marion Noel is his dad. Okay. And Francis Marion Noel, Francis. Okay, so he's living with his dad in 1900 and 1910. Then you have 1917 is a World War I draft registration. Let's click on that. Male, born 23 December 1890 in Dunlap, Iowa. So one thing I like about World War I draft registrations is normally you see a spouse listed or a close family member listed. So is he single? Did he die single? You're going to be able to tell that from a World War I draft registration. Okay, so Albert Raymond Noel from Dunlap, Iowa, natural born, birthplace. Let's zoom in here. Where were you born? Dunlap, Iowa. What is your present trade or occupation? Farmhand, working for somebody named Jordan in Douglas Township, Harrison County, Iowa. Have you a father, mother, wife, or child under 12, or a sister or brother under 12 solely dependent on you for their support? Yes, a wife and one child. He's listed as married. Okay, so this is proof that he got married. So let's see if there's any other records that might show that. So 1917, death index doesn't show an image, doesn't show married. Find a grave. Albert R. Noel, burial. Let's click on images. Let's go to the find a grave record. Inscription, Dad. So on his tombstone, it says Dad, and that he was born in 1890 and died in 1973. But it doesn't list a wife. So sometimes I find a grave. If you click over here, it says see more Noel memorials in Fairhaven Memorial Park. If there's a lot of them, then you're not going to be able to tell. Okay, so looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 Noels in this cemetery. One of them being Albert R. Noel, and that's our guy, and Louise Margaret Noel Mayer. So that's a Noel who married a Mayer, so that's not his wife. Essie Bell Sumner Noel, born in 1888, so that's a possibility. Then there's a Roth Neal Noel, that's a guy. Kate S. Ora Noel, and that's a girl, but born in 1850, so that's not his wife. So he's not buried with his wife. Well, that's interesting. Or at least it's not listed in the Find a Grave website. So let's go World War II draft registration. Interesting. Okay. Living in Los Angeles, California, County of California. Let's see if we can look at this image. World War II draft registration. Name and address of person who will always know your address. Mrs. Marcella Bradley. Okay, so his name is Noel. And this is when he's 51. It's his it's his birth date. So interesting that it doesn't list his wife. So on this registration in 1942, he doesn't list his wife as a person who will always know his address. And it's possible that this could be a daughter, maybe? Okay. Marcella Bradley. Okay, so we're not going to find it there. California death index doesn't show. And everything else is before that 1917 record. So let's go back to his details page. We have Albert Raymond Noel. There are no family search record hints, so we're going to go to Ancestry. And we're going to click OK. So we know this is the delayed birth record that we have already. Albert Raymond Noel. U.S. Find a Grave, we already have that one. Death index, we already have that one. The death index, again, we already have that one. Delayed birth record. Ah! That's a new one. Okay, so this is a delayed birth record of him with Father Marion Noel and Mary Ann Smith. If you go back, Marion Noel and Mary Ann Smith. Okay. But then this other birth record is Albert Raymond Noel, birthplace, spouse, Amelia Pearson, child, Marcella May Noel. If I remember right, the person who will always know where he's living in the World War II draft registration. Mrs. Marcella Bradley. Okay, so this is a delayed birth record for Marcella May Noel, who got married and married a Bradley. Okay, so this is proof because it's Albert Raymond Noel, and his birthplace is Dunlap, Iowa, which we already knew of a spouse. So let's click on this record, see if it gives us any more. Okay, so we have marriage record down here. Let's click on that. Okay, this is Albert Noel. I bet that's a misprint. It was Noel, but somebody couldn't read it. Father, Marion Noel, and mother, Johanna Pearson. That's weird. What's his mom's real name? Johanna Pearson, Frances Marion Noel. So maybe that isn't right. Johanna Pearson. Let's click on Amelia. Somebody messed up and put Amelia's mom's name, Johanna, in as Albert's mom's name, Amelia. Okay, so since this doesn't show the right mother, it could be a mix-up, and this could be the right person still, but we don't know for sure. So we need to find out more information. Let's look and see. Wasn't there a... Previously, there was a 1920 census. 1925. That doesn't show who he's married with. Let's go to the 1900 census, see if that gets us a closer look. Nope. You know what? Let's go back again, because I'm pretty sure when we first searched on Family Search, on Ancestry, I mean, I thought there was a 1920 census. I think this is the first record we clicked on. Yes. Okay, Albert Noel. Denison, Crawford, Iowa. Spouse's name, Amelia Noel. Okay. So this is the family. So we want to find the 1920 census with them living in Iowa. So let's go back to Albert and do a family search record so we don't have to type in the information. We can just copy it over. And we're going to go on collections, and we're going to look for the 1920 census for Albert Noel. And there he is. And review and attach. So here we have Albert Noel, born in 1891, which is close enough, 1890. Birth, 1891, which is really close to December of 1890. Born in Iowa. Now living in Denison, Crawford, Iowa. So we're going to add that residence. And we're going to attach. Now we're going to add his wife. And it says Amelia Noel, but we know that her name is actually Pearson. And interesting, she's born in Sweden. So we're going to create this new person. We're going to add the residence and attach. And we're going to add the daughter. She's deceased, but she's only been dead for... She was only born less than... She was born over 100 years ago. I'm just going to say she's old. And we'll go and find her death certificate here in just a second. So we're going to find her death later, but she's old enough to be dead. And we're going to click attach. So now let's see if we can find more information about Amelia. So we got the 1920 census. We're going to go click on this. Let's see if we can find any more information. Amelia Pearson. Record hints. Amelia Pearson, husband Albert Noel, died in 1915 in Crawford County, Iowa. Okay, so birth date. Oh, a child. So this is an unnamed child that was born in 1915 and died in 1915. So died the same day as birth. Oh, that's sad. Let's go ahead and click on this. So we're going to add these records. And this is a child. I'm going to take away those 2 dots. We don't need 2 dots. But we know that they were born and died on the same day. We're just going to click on there. Oh, let me just... unknown sex. So we can't add the sex. Okay. Residence, Denison, Crawford, Iowa. Okay, let's close that. What else can we learn about Amelia? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, there's 7. Okay, so delayed birth records. Husband, Albert Raymond Noel. Daughter, Marcella May Noel. Birth, 20th of May, 1916, Iowa, Crawford, Iowa. Okay, so this is a birth record of their daughter Marcella. So let's go ahead and add that. So Amelia's the mom, Albert's the dad. And Marcella's already on there. Now, we know the birth date is actually 20th of May, 1916. So I'm actually going to go to Marcella here. And we have to manually add that birth date, 20th of May, 1916. May 1916. And we know the birthplace was Iowa Township, Crawford, Iowa. So Iowa Township, Crawford County, Iowa. And save. Okay, so come back to this. Now we're just attaching this birth record so that we have a source attached to Marcella showing her birth date. Okay, and let's close these 2 source census. Okay, so now we're looking, let's go ahead and, there's a marriage record. So, marriage record, Amelia Pearson, husband Albert R., daughter Marcella. Okay, but the marriage record is for Bud Wayne Thomas in 1945, marrying Marcella May Bradley. So Marcella May Bradley married Bud Wayne Thomas. I'm not going to add this one because it's just of the daughter. Let's see if there's any other ones by clicking on Show All. So you got a 1925 census showing the child Marcella and husband Albert, 25. Let's go ahead and attach that. We still haven't found anything with her parents. It'd be nice to find something with her parents to further establish who Amelia Noel is. Okay, so 1940 census. Oh, here's a marriage record. Amelia Pearson, born in 1895, Sweden, married 1st of January 1914. Okay, that makes sense, because in 1920 they were living together in the 1920 census. And it's got the father, the mother, and the spouse. So let's go ahead and attach that marriage record. Noel. It's Noel, not Noel. And it's Denison, Crawford, Iowa, which is the same as where they were living in the 1920 census. So we know this is right. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's the bad. It's the one where the mom is listed wrong, too. I mean, what are the chances that both mother-in-laws are Johanna? Okay, so let's add her parents. We're going to say they're deceased because they're old. And Johanna, deceased because she is old. And let's change the focus person to Albert, because we're going to attach this record to his parents. Yeah, see, Pearson, somebody just messed up. There's no way Lars Pearson and Johanna Pearson, Johanna Rasmus. See, Johanna Pearson would be the married name of Amelia's mom. So I'm adding this record to Mary Ann Smith. It's going to look weird, but that's where it belongs. But there's no digital image of that marriage record. So we have no other way of proving that. Okay, and did we already add this? I can't remember. Did we add the 1940 census? Let's refresh and see what's been taken away. Okay, let's go ahead and add that 1940 census. So they were living in Los Angeles County, but 5 years earlier they were living in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, interesting. That's the interesting thing about the 1940 census, is you get to see where they were living 5 years earlier. Okay, so here we are with Amelia Pearson now, and she's got 6 sources. We've got a birth date, no death date yet, and 2 children, one that was died at birth, on the day of their birth. We've got her parents. Okay, I think that's pretty good for 30 minutes of work. Ryan, I hope this is helpful, and I will let you know what else we can find. But for now, we know that Amelia Pearson is a new spouse added to one of your cousins on the family tree. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoy doing your own family history, and we will see you again next week. Have a good day.